In our previous episode, we talked about how validating someone's, if they're venting, gossiping, whatever, how feeling validated is important. We briefly touched on it.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about today, and you know, Rosie, we are supportive of validating others, people, feelings,
Yeah.
experience, whatever they are going through. But today I want to talk about or ask you, do you see a danger in validation? And I know I'm
Yes.
taking you by surprise. We're not prepared for
Never.
this.
Never.
Welcome to the Rosie and Roula show. Marhaba.
G'day. No, I think there is a danger. And there is a difference between, for example, me validating your feelings and you craving that validation. I think it is a valid need to want to feel validated and heard. It's part of belonging and connection. But when we place our self-worth on being validated by others, my God, that's a dangerous path. It definitely is, because if you're not getting that external validation, then what? You're going to fall to pieces. You're going to be a mess. And I struggle with this. I struggle with it. Just bear that in mind as I talk, as if I know everything about this.
You're captivating me. I'm all ears.
Am I? I kind of forgot where I was going with that. But so for example, I will feel shit about something, but then someone will say, "Oh my God, that was amazing, Rosie." And I'll just feel like $1,000,000. Why can't I own that I am good at something and give myself the validation? I think we need a bit of that going on too. I'm definitely not saying that we shouldn't validate other people's feelings. We should definitely validate other people's feelings. It's very important. But we shouldn't rely on having our feelings validated.
Where's your struggle? You talked about you struggle with this.
Oh, you want to know my struggle?
Yeah.
Well, with everything. Just life in general, day in, day out. Okay, here's an example. So I started teaching again recently, and I felt absolutely useless and like I didn't do a great job. And then I think I spoke about this actually. We did an episode about praise. So go back and listen to that. I will put it in the show notes, episode 186. But I was feeling shit until I was talking to the deputy principal, and she just validated what a good teacher I was. And I felt amazing. What changed? The only thing that changed is that someone else said I was amazing. So I am relying on her or other people to have a sense of self-worth. That is dangerous.
I think it's dangerous is because first, I don't want to take your teaching example because then I'll be too harsh on you with my conversation.
Oh,
and
God.
I don't mean that.
Yeah. Okay.
Where I find a danger in validation is when we validate and we only say the things that the other person wants to hear.
Which
means,
ooh, that's bullshit.
and this means that they are not seeing the other side of the coin. They're not seeing another perspective.
God,
And
we've really interpreted this differently, haven't we? Yeah. Keep
yeah,
going.
they're not seeing it. And why I came up also with this, what you're saying is very valid. The question came to my mind is because so much, when you look for something, let's say online, and then the feeds keep feeding you what you looked for, validating your feeling, validating your opinion, your how you see the world.
It's
And
confirmation
then,
bias.
yeah, so you're only in this tunnel vision. You're getting so much validation about the things you're looking for that you're not seeing the other side of the coin.
Yeah, okay.
And when
Well,
someone validates you for something, that's only one person's opinion.
and it might not even be their real opinion. They could be blowing
Yes.
smoke up your ass because they want to make you feel better. I'm not a fan of that either. It needs to be genuine. One of my pet peeves, something that ticks me off, again, go listen to that episode, is when people say, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay." How the fuck do you know? I know that's not quite, well, it kind of is validation, but it's just this thing people say that's not true.
It's nice to bring it with a fact. So when we validate, I feel it's good to
Back it
back
up.
it up. What are we
Yes.
validating specifically? And as question, I feel that if I validate, am I really all like I couldn't be validated? I have totally different opinion. I'm only validating to make the person feel heard, but am I
But you might not
100%
actually
agreeing?
agree. Yeah. Oh my God. This plays into so many different things. Like we're talking about validation, it's compliments and it's praise, which we touched on recently. And I think people pleasing ties into this too. And we are afraid of conflict and confrontation because if we
Yes.
give honest feedback, there probably will, it's not all going to be positive, is it?
And sometimes validation, Rosie, comes from people who also want to be validated for the same thing, and then it becomes a circle. So I
It's
validate you,
toxic.
yeah. I find there is something toxic in validation. The person validating without giving another perspective, they're also validating their own feeling. They're craving for this
Oh my
validation.
God.
So I
It's like, oh
validate
my God.
you because I'm craving this
You're
validation,
like
and I'm hoping
projecting. Oh my God. And
you
so you
will
want the other person to reciprocate.
yes. It
Oh,
happens so often that validating other without giving another perspective.
I mean, I think it's okay to validate someone, to compliment them, to praise them, and there's not always going to be a balance. This is good, this is bad, whatever. You might actually genuinely agree, but I do think we're probably all guilty of talking bullshit because we're
Need to
just
be
trying to keep the peace.
specific.
Be specific,
Be
man.
specific. Yeah.
Be specific. Be specific.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, I agree.
it's we don't talk politics on our podcast. We don't I mean, I know we don't talk about this stuff. I just have this um we have to we have elections for the parliament coming up next week. And I see validation for the wrong thing everywhere around me.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then people are validating each other on, okay, I'm biased on things I don't believe in or I think they should be wrong. And is this correct to validate? Because we are in groups. We just go, find the
Oh
people
boy.
that validate what we think, what we believe is right. And then we are in a
Well, and
tunnel vision.
think about the extreme end of that. It's essentially propaganda and groupthink and brainwashing, and we need to learn to use our voice and form our own thoughts. Be critical. Rather than just be swept up in what we want to hear and what everybody else is saying, and it's easier to just go along with that. Yuck.
And I want a healthy debate.
Yes. Oh my
A
goodness.
healthy debate,
Yes.
something that make us respect the other wrong opinion. Remember my t-shirt? I respect your wrong opinion. Because it comes also from this environment that we're living in now, about each like group are validating each other and becoming just too sight
Yeah.
blinded.
Blindsided. Yeah.
Blindsided.
I knew what you meant. We knew what you meant.
I'm glad you corrected
It's
me.
we aren't good at having these conversations in general because we're not taught how to have healthy conflict. Just because you don't agree with somebody's point of view or beliefs doesn't mean you shouldn't engage in a conversation. I think it's really, is beneficial the word? It's worthwhile to try to understand where someone else is coming from. Like in our conversations, you'll say something and I'll think, what the fuck are you? I don't agree with that. But
You
then I'll
have these
listen.
moments very much when you say
I
what
do.
the fuck I'm talking about.
I do have what the fuck moments. And I let it out, but I don't shut it down. I listen, and often, I'm sure you've noticed this, Ruler, often I'll go, oh, yeah, actually, I didn't realise you meant that, I agree. Or, oh, I didn't think of it like that. What's the harm in just listening? You do not have to agree. We are not saying agree. We are saying listen. Have empathy.
And sometimes I don't
Challenge.
want,
Also
I'm
challenge.
challenged and also now that we're saying this and thinking about myself, I wonder if people really have very different opinions than mine. How am I gonna get out of this relationship, for example, if it's friendship? Or how am I gonna, because I also have the choice, but then this bring me back, and I think I'm wrapping up the episode because this is gonna go into the rabbit hole. This bring me back to, oh, they're not validating what I believe in, so we can't get along.
It raises so many questions.
But I leave it. I leave it. I don't have anything more to add
What was
because
the beginning? Oh, validation. Yes, yes.
the danger
To
of
answer your
validation.
question, yes, it is dangerous. And it was interesting to hear how you interpreted your own question, because I kind of took it in a different direction. So that was,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a
I
good
took it
conversation.
to the environment we're living in now because it's doing something to me. Again, we don't talk about this at the podcast, but it's doing something to me.
I mean, politics it's one of those things, isn't it? It's so polarizing. Isn't it interesting that we're not talking about it on the podcast? And you know why? I think validation plays into it because people aren't willing to have an open conversation about differing points of view and to discuss the hard stuff. We don't have to go into that, but I
But
feel
also
like,
because we
isn't
want
that
to be
interesting?
inclusive. We don't talk
Yeah,
about politics because if the topics we are talking about, Rosie, speak to our listeners no matter where they stand in their beliefs and in their life, that's good.
but why shouldn't politics speak to everybody? It affects everybody, without a doubt.
It's very personal, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not
It's very
convinced with that
personal.
answer, but I think we should just reflect on that. Not saying we're becoming a political podcast, but just an observation.
Okay.
See, I'm not
I
validating you.
took note. I made a mental note of your observation.
Mental note.
Mental note. I
Agree to
will
disagree.
forget it in a second. Oh, all
Goodbye,
right. Thank you for
everybody.
listening to our rambling episodes. Bye.
Bye. If you got a kick out of our conversation today, can you pretty please hit the follow button and share it with another opinionated person? This is the easiest way for you to support the show. It also gives Roula and I the motivation to keep
I have to
going.
stop you there. Stop telling people what to do. If they like to follow the show and share it, it's totally up to them. Guys, please, can you help us follow and share the show? Thank you
That's
so
what I
much. See you
just
next time.
said.